Hey, well, hello there, friends and family. Didn't see you there sneaking up on me. Now I wonder what we're doing out here today. Well, let me show you, okay? So, it is so good to see all of y'all today. You might wonder what we're doing out here in the blazing sun, which I'm sure you can see it is. And it's high noon. And you know, I got these tomato plants in here. I got 4 of them now. In what is gonna be the start of my midsummer garden here in the old south side driveway bed, as we call it. And you know, while this is a midsummer, of course we got our narcissus and our daffodils that come up in this every year, and they really don't die off to where we can take out the tops of the plants till about end of May, mid-June. So it's always a midsummer plant. But you can see here, even at high noon, this better boy bush is looking strong. Yeah, this is the same better boy bush that was all polluted with that Pretoria leaf spot. Yep, you know, that we treated with hydrogen peroxide. Now what I do during the midday is I come out here and give them a little bit of drink. And I have reasons for that. And I give them a good, deep watering. I surely do. Because right now it's 93 with 117 heat index. Yes, it is. And I can tell you, as I'm bent down here watching this water, that sun is burning right through me. And this is something to note. That heat index, it's just not the direct temperature, which is measured in the shade. Look it up. See, it's not only humans that feel the effects of the humidity and the temperature. It's animals, it's our pets, and it's our plants. Yep. Anything living feels the effects of those heat index degrees. So like I said, it's currently 117. Now what I found that helps my plants during this here midsummer, which it's July the 31st, 2021, is come out here and give them a little drink, and that soak the ground really well. Now a lot of people say, well, they water in the morning and they water in the evening. Well, depending on where my plants are, I change up my watering some. Like in this bed, for the last 20 years or more, I found, because it's right out here in direct sunlight through the hottest part of the day, that it's best if I come out here during midday and give it a drink. Let it soak down. And why is that? Well, I'm about to show you why. I'm about to show you what this intense heat does to tomato plants. Now you can see this one looking really fine. Yep, she's looking good. I'm proud of it, considering how it looked when we stuck it in the ground. It was all diseased, and like I said, most people would have just chunked it. The second one here, which is also a better boy bush, is also looking strong. Here again, it had Pretoria leaf spot. It was really looking poor, but it's coming right along. And then right here, you can see that volunteer tomato. It's looking good too. So now we're going to show you something that don't look so good. Okay, and this gets back to heat stress time of planting, planting depth, and everything else. So let's move over here to the Heat Masters, which are specifically bred. They're a hybrid, so is the Better Bush. And you can see right there. Wilted in this blazing sun. Yep. Looks like it's dying, don't it? Surely does. Then we have this here second Heat Master right here. Same way. All the leaves are drooping, curled up. Yeah. Now you might wonder why these two look like this and these two look like that. Well, there's several reasons. Now if you remember, if you watched me planting these two, these were planted extremely deep. Probably once I got done digging the hole, it was about a foot down. By the time I put all my amendments in, some compost and everything, set the plant, it was 10 inches down. Yep. So that has a bearing too. And I'm going to show you why. Move this water over here to start giving this one a cooling, refreshing drink in this midsummer blazing heat. Yep. So why do I come out and do this? Well, the effects of this here extreme heat on your tomatoes or any other vegetable plants, to be honest, is not the only thing to worry about. There's another reason. And that is soil temperature and the roots. Now like I said, those were planted at least 10 inches deep. These Heat Masters couldn't be planted that deep. They just weren't that long. These are only in about to the bottom of their root base, maybe 4 to 5 inches. They just weren't very big plants, so they're not as deep. And also in their also to their credit, they've only been in for a little over a week, where these have been in for over 2. So these have their roots more established, where these Heat Masters do not. So, for now, that'll be good enough. Now why do I come out here in this blazing heat to do this? And if you want to look back in my garden walkabout videos in 2018, 2019, 2020, this is a practice that I do all through the summer till we get into the fall where the temperatures drop off. Why? Because I know not only the air temperature on the upper parts of the plant make it suffer, but I also know it's the ground temperature. That's why depth of planting makes such a difference. The deeper you can get your tomato plants, the better off they will be to get through this midsummer heat. And like I said, those were extremely leggy. You know, I could set them 10 to 12 inches deep. These were very short. I mean, the plant wasn't even 7 or 8 inches tall in its entirety. But let me show you something here. And we're going to shade this a little bit with our old body, because we're going to stick a thermometer in that soil. And we're going to shade it with a big old head. And you can see right there what it's reading. And that's about 6 inches down. And we're going to give it a minute or two to stabilize. Now, one thing I'll say when you're out here doing this, checking your soil temperature, you don't want to have the sun beating down on your thermometer. Now, it's been in there for several minutes, and it's finally stabilized at 88 degrees, okay? Midday watering helps the plants from taking up more moisture. Because see, during high heat and that, they just can't take in from the ground, their roots, as much water as they need to offset during this high heat time that they're giving up through transpiration. Yep, it's sort of like what happens to a human or an animal. If you're not drinking adequate water and you're out here sweating, eventually you get to the point where you become dehydrated. And that's exactly what's happening to these plants right now. By saturating the soil with more water, it increases the soil content, therefore the plants don't have to struggle as much to supply water to the upper foliage. Now, while this sun's blazing, will they all of a sudden perk up? No, the answer is no. But later in the afternoon, when these plants do go in the shade, they will recover. Now, are they struggling? Oh yeah. But here again, they've only been in a little over a week. So that their root ball has yet to form new roots and dive deeper into the soil where it's much cooler than that. But another thing to note is, even though these say right here, heat master, heat tolerant tomato, and these here are the better boy, what I want you to think about when you are planting and watching your gardening, I admit it's hard when you're working. It was hard for me, except on the weekends. You know, go out and look at them in the morning. Go out and look at them during the midday heat and in the evening time. See, if you live in the deep south, survival is pretty much determined by rainfall, i.e. moisture. Secondly, by heat stress, especially if you're trying, like I am, and I will succeed during midsummer through late summer into early fall, the hottest times in the deep south. I've done it before for years, and you can see me successfully do it in my garden walkabouts in 2018, 2019, and 2020. When I could drive around here right now, and you'll be hard pressed to find anybody gardening at this time of year here. By this time, 1st of August, pretty much gardens are toast. Yep, they are. So I do this every day, unless it's cloudy, overcast, or raining. But I still come out and check them. Trust me, I do. So we got one more here to give a drink. We'll give this one a nice drink. Nice and deep, help it out some. And since you got to water anyway, and I know right now it's brutal, I don't want to. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I mean, back when I was working over at a local factory that was about 3 minutes from the house to 5 minutes max, I'd come home at lunch and I would water my plantings. That was my lunch. Maybe eat a sandwich while I was doing it. Of course, back then, I was raising food to help supplement my food costs. You know, the kids were here, the wife was here, I was here. It wasn't like I was Rockefeller, okay? So it's sort of a must-have. Instead of now, you know, I like to put in every year what I enjoy fresh, or I'm willing to put up. And of course, me, my primary storage method is either dehydrating or freezing. I don't can much. I used to, but these days I don't. I have my own reasons for that. And if I gave them, it'd probably piss off half America. So, because people enjoy doing it, you know, and that's fine. Primarily, it's all about cost. But I wanted to come out today, like I do every day, and show you what I see every day. You know, out here in the blazing sun. Now, for the deep south, what would be the perfect environment to be growing through the midsummer? Well, that would be where your plantings received full sun from morning to midday, and then went in the shade from midday till dark. That would be optimal. Of course, we have to have long enough days, you know, need 6 to 8 hours. Even though certain things will do fine with 4. Other certain things will do fine in partial shade. I mean, just look at my blueberries. They are loving where they're at. Now, the other blueberries that I tried to put in full sun, they burnt slap up. No amount of watering, no amount of care. Even if I watered 3 times a day, whatever, they still died. They couldn't take this heat. And you can see right now, you know, ground temperature there at 6 inches down, 92 degrees. Anything above 85 isn't good on your plants, regardless of what the air temperature is. So that's why I do this. Cool it down a little bit, give them a little break during this extreme heat during midday. Within a couple hours, the sun will eventually go into the trees to the west. These will start falling in the shade, and the plants will start recovering. Trust me, they do. Why? Because I check them every evening when I feed the kitty crew. But you can see we're partly cloudy, because you'll see things dim, and then here we are. We're right back in that blazing sun. Now, when the clouds go in front of that sun, oh, there's another one, clouding out the sun, it gets marginally cooler quicker. Well, that one didn't last for long. So, I thought this would be some useful information, because I've had several people in the comments on my last garden info video tell me that, you know, their tomatoes, peppers, all that were just burning slap up, or had burned up. They weren't having no success getting past this time of year. So that's why I wanted to show you where we were at with the better boy bushes that were planted as deep as I could get them, and where we are on the heat masters. You know, there's many factors that are not in their favor right now. Planting depth, time of planting, root development. Yeah. And will they recover? Will they make it? We'll have to see. Now what we could do, and many do if you want to throw money on it, you can put you in some shade cloth. Currently I don't have none, so it's not an option, and to be totally honest, I've never had any. Now I have used bed sheets before. You'll see that if you watch my garden videos, walkabouts. And that works too, you know, old threadbare sheets work just fine. It's what we used forever, before we had all these neat expensive things like shade cloth. You know, poor folk always find a way. You can, you know, cut you some holes in cardboard boxes and come out here during midday and cover them up before they wilt so much. That works too. I've done it. Yep. But what this is about more this year is going along, since I ain't really too all worried about starving to death and die. Seems to be I'm in the minority, but I come from a time when we had so much less. You know, if we get back to that, I already know I'll make it. My children will make it. And we will survive. Because once upon a time in America, things were so much harder than now. So much less to choose from. And even if it was there, people couldn't afford it. And people survived. Yeah. Yeah. Might not have been able to go to their freezers or local grocery stores and get any cut of meat they wanted. Any vegetable they want. I mean, back in my day, there was no way you could walk in 365 days of the year and expect tomatoes to be there, lettuce, and a whole bunch of other things. Fruits. No. That's something that's developed over time with international agricultural commerce the way it is now. You ain't eating fruits and veggies during the height of winter grown in America. Yep, California can do some. Sometimes Florida can do some. Can it feed a nation this large? No. All that primarily comes out of South America and Central America, depending on the time of year. It wasn't always that way. Trust me, youngins. And I know with my audience, many of y'all know what I'm talking about. So we're going to progress with our midsummer garden. We got some peppers we're going to be setting. Still haven't set. Two of which look pretty sad. We've been keeping them going. More or less for instructional purposes. One that looks pretty good. And we'll be setting them in the coming days. And we will be going through the same processes. So, in the comments below, just let old Mr. Tom go if you think he'll be successful or he'll be wiped out. I always like to know. So I hope this helps some of y'all. And that, be a little bit less stressed out. If you're retired or you're at home all day, maybe you can come out here and give your plants a midsummer drink, midday drink too. I'm telling you, it'll help. But planting depth, soil composure, or what's in your soil, all of that factors in, as well as variety of plant. All those factors. Soil moisture, yeah. Especially during this time of year, when the deep south, most people throw it in the towel, call it quits. Maybe they'll restart in fall, maybe they won't. I've made it work before. For many years, I'm gonna make it work again. So, enough on that. Hope it helps somebody. Yep, and you can see the blueberries Got some shade, some sun. I mean, the best way I can describe the blueberry planting is here. It changes through the day depending on where the sun is. Sometimes they get full sun. Sometimes they're shaded. But through the day, apparently they get enough sun to survive and be bountiful. Yep. Where the ones that planted out in full sun like they tell you to do, just burn up no matter what I did. Couldn't handle it. And if you look where natural blueberries grow, you'll understand probably why. They're not native to the southeastern, southwestern, or desert states. No. They are more native to the northeastern tier, northern Midwest, upper Midwest, states. Canada, Alaska. No. Not native to the southeast. So we're a little partly cloudy here. I got to turn that water off so the hose don't blow up. And I'm going to take her on in. We'll chat a minute on the front porch. And we'll call this one done. Well, there you have it, folks. I hope you got something out of it. Maybe some of you did. Just wanted to share with you what it looks like. Depending on temperature, planting time, and variety, and watering schedule, what your plants go through, especially here in the deep south, during these extreme temperatures we have. And something I do to try to help them along. Later on this evening, when they perk up, I'll pop a pic up in the community tab of the channel. And if you are subscribed and you have hit that bell notification, little bell for all notifications, you'll get alerted. And old Mr. Tom does that, okay? So it's extremely hot. I'm all sweaty, nasty. Apologize for my appearance. It's just the way it is when you're out on the place, getting her done. So I do hope this video finds all of y'all safe, well, and happy with your family, friends, and loved ones. Till I see you on the next video. Sorry, the kitty crew's hunkered down in the bunker. It's hot. And Gracie curled up on the love seat to sleep. It's just the way it is. This is real life in real time. Till we see y'all on the next video. Y'all take care, stay safe, and may God bless each and every one of you as you bless others. Goodbye for now. Oh, it is smoking. It's only 73% humidity. It's now 94. My phone says the heat index is up to 117. Whew. We are roasting. Time to go in. Get some of that good Towsoo River water. Filtered, that is. Drop in some ice. Well, may need to go get some more. I don't make ice. I have to check. And cool down. And start back to work on YouTube editing a video. Such is life. When you want to share with your family, friends, and loved ones. I don't mind. What else am I going to be doing?